Welcome to the Film Junket Podcast.
Turn it down, Dave. I was like, whoa, what do I do? What do I do? Brain fart, guys. What's going on? Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Film Junket Podcast. Appreciate you guys clicking in and everything. You bunch of racists. Sorry. God damn it, dude. I hate this fucking current state of where we're at right now. My God, it just sucks because, I mean, you look at your timeline sometimes, the way Twitter is now, I guess they're trying to, connect more people. Why would you want to do that? No. I saw somebody within the fandom who's not a fan of the current castings, like specifically, Zoe Kravitz, almost said Saldana. Be cast as Catwoman and stuff like that. And then he was just kind of just tweeting out that, hey, I'm being accused of being a racist and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm sure this is a guy who doesn't like me anymore. Because of the Snyder Cut stuff. How I got on, the shit list for, the real diehard Snyder guys. But when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, that's fucked up. I almost retweeted it. I should have probably, because it's gotten so stupid. I mean, it's okay. I just hate that the fact that there are people. There's people that are far. Like I even said it in my video about it. I mean, there's people that are just on far both sides. Far extreme, I guess you could say, because they're so excited. The people that are so excited about the castings, even with Black Canary and blah blah blah, that if anybody goes, no, I don't like it, it's not how she's supposed to be, and this, that, and this, they immediately just call that person a racist. And I got in an argument with somebody who actually was fairly popular in the community, and he ended up blocking me, by the way, because of it. And it's just I told him, I was like, not everybody's a racist. I mean, I would say most people who are griping about it aren't racist. I've actually discussed with people, and I've had people in my mentions go that aren't liking the fact that they're doing this, and I get it. I understand it. I get the fact that it's hey, why can't we just have the characters of color that are already established? Why can't we have them show up? But at the same time, I'm I've always said that, okay, if you're going to do the race bending thing or the race swap, make it make sense, okay? Arthur Curry, Jason Momoa, it made sense. Okay, when it came to Deadshot, everybody accepted that. It just was yeah, that's fine. It works. It's Will Smith, whatever. Just make it make sense. When it's forced, that's when it feels shitty. Okay? When it comes to Zoe Kravitz, it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother a lot of people. Because she just has that quality. And I've said it so many times, Jesus Christ, I'm getting blown up right now. So sorry if you hear ding-dong, ding-dongs. You get essays sent to you. It's hey, can I respond first before you sent 5 more paragraphs? No, but it's to me, it doesn't bother me because I'm she just fits. And I even made a stink. I'm it's these girls are some of these actors, they're mixed. They're mixed. But we live in the day of age. Oh yes, they cast up Black Canary. They cast up Black Selena Collin. I'm no, they didn't. There's a mix. There's all kinds of mix. Can we represent the whole package? Huh? Can we do that? We're all supposed to unite and come together, right? In this fucking crazy society. But to be honest, I think people want to segregate more than anything. That's what it seems like. Jesus fucking Christ. If you look at all the political spectrum and everything on Twitter, it's people want to segregate more than anything. It's just holy shit. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I literally had somebody in my mentions yesterday because of the whole Gina. It was yesterday or yesterday. Gina Rodriguez, because she posted a video where she dropped the N-bomb. She was singing a song, and it wasn't the grr N-bomb. It was the guh N-bomb. Nothing to it, whatever. But of course, everybody's blowing it up. I mean, this is how horrible we are. I saw tweets show up on my timeline. Oh, we finally got her racist ass! And I guess there was something in the past that they were like talking about, which I'm sure wasn't anything. It's just everybody's so goddamn sensitive and everybody's out to get everyone. That's why I won't even say, it's all about context, people. It's all about context, because if you're singing along with a song that has that word in it, and it's the G N-word, that's just kind of like, okay, that's nothing. She's not saying it to anybody. There's no slurriness or nothing. But if, some dude with a fucking cross on his lawn is calling that to somebody of that color and with the grr, then that's bad. And that guy is a piece of shit. But it also sucks that that word is so powerful. And there's other words that are so powerful that it seems like they're almost more powerful than ever. And it would be nice if every single slur that is out there, I'm talking about for every single race, if it's just if somebody was called that, I'm like, okay, well, you're a piece of shit human. Most people aren't. I know some people would like to believe that America is the most racist, bigoted fucking country in the world. That's only because, they've run out of problems. And I'm not saying that those people do not exist, but it's just fucking, hey, man. It's just we live in such a time right now where we got the fandom happening where, I literally think that people out there that are so extreme about these castings that are so, jazzed up, that anytime they see somebody native, they just fucking shoot them down as being a racist. And I'm like, fuck off. That is some ignorant fucking shit. That's ignorant fucking shit. You're just trying to fucking find this now, and you're just trying to pat yourself on the back. It's like, if you actually discuss with these people and maybe have a conversation without shouting them down for being a racist, maybe you'll learn that they aren't, and they just don't like the casting. It's okay to not like the casting. It's perfectly okay. You're free to not like the casting choices, okay? Jesus, fuck, I got in this whole tiff about it, and then somebody else joined in, and they said that black women are the most stereotyped in movies. I'm like, no, that's not the case. I would say Asian men or Mexican old ladies are, or gay men, way more. It's just everybody wants to be the most oppressed. It's the oppression Olympics. Everybody's trying to be like, no, we are, they are, it's just, everybody's trying to be the most oppressed just because, so then they can fight for something and feel relevant. It's ridiculous. Come on. I would say that Asian men, maybe old Asian men are the most stereotyped. Gay men, yeah, I would say they are more stereotyped. Come on now. I'm like, you literally have tons of movies that are coming out, that have been coming out, that are led, black female led, and they're not the stereotypes and everything. So, and then you have people like Dave Chappelle who point out the stereotypes of everything and fucking throw it out there, piss everybody off. And then, of course, people like me and most people are like, yeah, fucking A, good job. Point out that shit. Stereotypes can be fun. I have black friends, Asian friends, Mexican friends, and pointing out little stereotypes is great. Throw them at me, I'll throw them at you. It's always a good time. I love doing that. That's the way it always is, but you can't do that in certain aspects of the fucking, especially on social media or blah, 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 because, then you'll be canceled. And just be canceled. And all that stuff. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to get that off my chest, because I just saw that tweet, and I'm like, fucking hey, man. Really? We're really going there. You're just, and it sucks that people are just being shouted down as being racist for that shit. And then, when you try to be like, it's like, no, they point out about everybody. Oh, good God. I don't know. It's just people that, it makes them feel, empowered when there's really nothing there. It's like, now, can you, take all your energy and go to, direct it to where it's actually something happening? It's fucking society we live in. There was, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she was promoting the whole thing that women don't have equal rights in the Constitution, and I'm like, which rights? A lot of people are like, which rights is she talking about? What rights? Even women are going what rights do I not have that a man has? And even in the video, she doesn't point out which rights there are. And then you go to the website that she directs you to donate, that's all it's for. That's all this shit's for, is just to get money. And there's nothing there. Like, which rights that women don't have that men have? And there's nothing. I mean, by law, everybody is straight across. Okay? When there's discrimination that happens, yes, attack that, please. But everywhere I've worked, even in a male-dominated profession as a cable guy, I mean, you never really hear cable girl, but, a technician for the cable company, they hired women. I worked with probably about 4, 5. I've worked about 5 women in that profession. It's not it's not female. It's male dominant, of course. But there were still females there. They didn't discriminate. If you qualified, you fucking qualified. There was one that was more qualified. She knew more than I did. She was a maintenance person, which that's not going inside the home. That's working on all the outside shit. I went into the inside and went all the way to the fucking tap, which is either on the pole or in the fucking box in the ground. If you have cable, there's a thing. You're basically jacked into a tap. Okay, when you watch The Cable Guy, it's very off. By the way, that movie always frustrates me with how he installs the cable. It doesn't make sense. It's not just like a fucking switch, or you have to readjust your furniture. It's not an antenna. Anyways, yeah, I've never worked in a profession that's had that. I mean, it's just funny how. And I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen out there, but it's just, they make it sound like every fucking job is like that. And I'm like, I've worked at many different places, and I've worked with various diverse groups of people. It's just crazy. I don't know. Anyways, sorry about that. Little diatribe there, guys. Just don't do that. Don't be ignorant like that, okay? If someone doesn't like the casting, discuss with them why they don't like the casting, okay? Don't immediately just call them a racist. It's fucking ridiculous. Not every, it's 2019. Most people are not. Okay? But of course, people will always push against that. Yes, they are. They're subconsciously, Dave. They don't know that they are, but they are. It's like, fuck you. Shut the fuck up, please. Ugh. Fucking annoying. Speaking of life and stuff like that, still waiting to hear about that new job I told you guys that last week that I interviewed for. They're taking their time a little bit. I've gotten updates. I mean, it's pretty much kind of in the bag, but they're just waiting for like approval. So I'm just, show me the goddamn money, and that's what's going to determine this. Normal work has calmed down a little bit. 2 projects that I was working on that I was actually like kind of leading on have wrapped for the time being. And then of course there's like another one that's coming down the pipe. And then I'm just like, okay, cool. I can just concentrate on running this department all by myself, which is still a pain in the ass, but I'm handling it. By the way, I'm drinking my vodka. Yeah, I'm still on the vodka kick. I'm just like, sip it. I'm trying to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because I ate so much bullshit like in the mid last week to Sunday, I should say. I ate like shit, guys. And I told you guys I was going to a wedding. I was in my one of my oldest friends' wedding. So, I mean, it pretty much started Thursday, I want to say. It started Thursday because somebody it was someone's last day-ish. He's still working on the side. And they were celebrating some birthdays too. One of them was mine because my birthday was this month. And I had one of these really crazy, fucking weird Oreo cookie concoctions that was really tasty. That's where it started, and then I said, fuck it. Because then when I went to the movies, after the movie, we went to Chili's, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get a chicken sandwich, but I'm getting fries. Motherfucker. I was like, whatever. And then, of course, I was off last Friday, and I still did the whole, like, intermittent fasting thing. I didn't eat till like about 1 o'clock, and I ate just pure protein. That's it, just eggs and stuff, and was it some sausage? So, and then after that, what the fuck did I do? That's right, I went down to Palm Springs. That's where the wedding was, guys. So, it was an interesting time. I drove down to Palm Springs. It was probably about 4 o'clock, 4:30. I got there because I had to do the rehearsal shit. Got there, and we got to the hotel, very retro. There's a lot of retro kind of hotels there that were built in like the 50s and 60s. And then I understood why we had brown suits. Because when my buddy told me, he was like, yeah, he asked for shit brown suits. And I was like, okay, now it makes sense. And they were getting married right there in the little courtyard by the pool. So we were out there. We did the rehearsal. It was really crazy seeing some people that I haven't seen in years. The best man I haven't seen in years. His best man. It's kind of funny because me and my friend, his name's Kyle, we became friends in 8th grade. I mean, it was 7th to 8th. We were on the same baseball team during that summer, and, that's basically where it started. But 8th grade, we became friends. But we both had a best friend of our own that we came from, from different elementary schools and everything. And but we just hit it off so well that we started hanging out a lot. And both of our best friends hated one another. That whole thing. It's so fucking stupid. But yeah. And so, I mean, this guy, he didn't really like me when it came to being in school. Outside of school, he was cool. And then, there was something that he, got pissed at me about. I hadn't seen him in, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. Long time. But, I mean, it was all good. It was cool. It's no big deal. It's not like, we're going to fuck you, man. No. I mean, he is a bit of a fucking spaz. He's a sheriff, or he was. He's got some stories. I mean, he's got that intellect to be that. He was, in the army, and then he went into to become a sheriff. But it was really crazy to see that. And then, of course, his family, his extended family, cousins that I've met before that I hadn't seen in years. That was pretty cool. It was interesting. And then, of course, meeting her side, and she's Canadian, and they were from Canada. And that was interesting because it's a whole other world. We really didn't click with. Well, some of them were okay, and then of course they're all vegans. That was the fun part about this weekend. Something about vegans. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm not gonna criticize being vegan. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Even though I've heard so many stories where it's no, I had to stop being vegan because I felt like shit, and then I got fat. I'm yeah, because you could do it right and just eat nothing but fruits and veggies and then take your vitamins, you're perfectly okay. But if you're going to eat all the fake shit, that's going to make you fat. Or you just eat bread and, oh, guess what? Look at these. These are cookies that aren't made with eggs or milk. And, it's yeah, that's full of carbs and it's going to fuck you up. Yeah, that's just what's going to, I've heard that many times. If you don't do it right, you're going to get fat. But if you do it right, you could lose a lot of weight because, yeah, you could just eat fucking fruits and veggies. But make sure you take proper vitamins. There's just a way to do it. And a lot of people don't do it. And they're frail and just, and I'm I can never do it. I can just never do it. I love meat too much. So, and it's the Impossible Burger. Fuck right off with that shit. When I see that commercial, it's plant-based? Well, it's made of plants? I'm yeah, and chemicals. Okay? You don't just mash up a bunch of plants and it makes a burger patty. You have to put all other kinds of shit in it to create the fucking meat effect. And it's not good for you. You look at a burger patty, an Impossible Burger Patty, it's got 10, 12 grams of carbs. You look at a regular burger patty, 0. But it's fine, I get it. But when it comes to vegans, and it's funny too, because when it came to the wedding, there was just it was all a vegan menu. And when I told people that, they're man, they should have a double menu option. I'm no, you got to realize, vegans look down at people. They judge you, okay? When it comes to us who eat meat and stuff like that, we should have a vegan menu, okay? We're supposed to have it. You have to have at least a vegan dish in there for those, just in case you have one. But when it comes to vegans, they don't have an alternative because no, it's murder, okay? So, of course, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, that first night, we go back. They had a B&B. That's where all the bridesmaids were. So, after the rehearsal, we went there, drinking and stuff. And they had some sliders that had vegan stuff in it. It tasted fine, but whatever. It's just funny seeing the picky eaters not want to eat it, especially the best man. His wife went out and got him some Carl's Jr. plain cheeseburgers. It's yeah. Very picky guy. The mac and cheese, I'll give it. It's not real cheese, of course, but that was actually pretty damn good. It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. So I ate some of that too. Drank a lot, and then it was I didn't have a room for Friday because my plan was not to get too trashy, and then just kind of go, okay, I'm going to drive home because, it's only about 40, 45 minutes away. and then come back the next day, just save some money on a room because the place they're staying at, just for one night, it was pretty expensive. But the whiskey was flowing, so I was like, okay, and then we ended up going out because there was drama with the bridesmaid. The shit you say! God, there's always drama with the bridesmaids, man. Guys, I filmed a lot of weddings in my day. Yeah, I used to do that. I don't really do it anymore. I haven't done it in a while because I got tired of it. It's just too much pressure, and I never knew how much to charge, and it was usually friends or friends of friends. I didn't do it professionally, but I've filmed probably like 5 or 6 weddings, and I've been in 2 weddings now, and been to a handful. So I've been to a lot of weddings. Always seems to be drama with the bridal party. God, girls, why can't you just fucking get along? Because the guys are always getting along. They're fucking getting ready. They're taking shots. They're having a good time. What the fuck? Always. So there's one time, literally, guys, I was pressed up against a wall, holding the camera, thinking I was going to film a fight. And I'm like, oh, man, this shit's going to go fucking viral. Holy shit. It's going to go fucking, yeah. It's going to go viral. But it didn't happen. Never starts on time either. God, weddings are such a scam. It's so expensive. And everybody does the same goddamn things. It's so fake. When you do the pictures and stuff like that, it's so fucking fake. Sorry. Oh. But yeah, there was drama. And so then we ended up going out to like the place in Palm Springs to just chill, have a couple drinks. So then I was like, okay. Everybody was like, okay, we're going to go back and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, it's not happening. I'm not even going to risk driving home because, there's cops everywhere. And I went, okay. And I just went down the street to a Motel 6 and fucking checked into a room and passed out. I was tired anyways, because I didn't sleep that much the night before. So I was kind of tired. And then the next day I just fucking checked out and went and got myself a goddamn Jack-in-a-Box breakfast sandwich. Need some meat. And a nice tall fucking mocha iced coffee. So fucking in a hash brown. Just eating junk. I didn't give a fuck. And then, ran some errands and stuff. And then finally was able to check into... Because I was sharing a room with my brother. But he wasn't going to be there till about 2. So I checked in about noonish. And, just got ready. Or, just kind of chilled. And then we all met up in the best man's room. Just started getting ready. Put on our suits. And that was cool. It was funny, Of course, we're just like drinking beers, We took a shot, complimentary shot, which was great. And then of course, shit wasn't going as smoothly as it should. And then, of course, we did a whole picture thing, which is just so phony. The first look picture. Oh my god. Okay, so she's gonna walk up and then she's gonna tap you on the shoulder. Oh my god. So it's just like the same beats over and over and over again. I've seen it a million times. So then, of course, it all started, and, it was all good, standing up there, it all went well, blah, 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 and then seeing people from, I haven't seen since high school, that was pretty crazy, and then it was on for drinking and all that stuff, and, vegan food, of course, at the wedding reception. My brother's really picky, so he hardly ate stuff. There was, beans and rice, and they had these taquitos that were, potatoes, and it tasted fine. Some cauliflower. I don't mind cauliflower. It's good for you. But it's just to see the picky eaters. It's just fucking hilarious. So yeah, it was all good. And then weird shit happened. Of course, one of my friend's old neighbors. He came to the wedding, fucked up on not just alcohol but other things. Who knows what the other things were? He caused kind of a ruckus, ended up getting socked in the face by somebody in the lobby. And then somebody I went to school with, who I could tell was a little off, because when he came up to me, he was very just overly nice and was talking about stuff. And when he walked away, he goes, "Hey man, let's catch up later. I want to learn about your life." Very weird to say that to somebody, When you say that to somebody, it was a little weird. And I'm like, okay, I haven't seen this guy in forever. Apparently he works with kids with learning disabilities, blah, blah, blah. I think it's affected him. That's where I give kudos to people that can actually do that. Where I work right now, we share a building, like, especially we share a hallway and a bathroom with like other suites inside the building, and like this other place, they take care of kids with autism. And I'm like, man, kudos to people that could do that, because it could have psychological effects. And he even said like that was one of the reasons why he hasn't had kids yet. But he was thinking about having it now. But so I tell things off, and apparently something happened with this guy that came really fucked up and him. I didn't know this till later. But what happened was, so my friend, he had his 3 golden retrievers in the wedding, which is, of course, a pain in the ass. They're old. He's had them for like 13, 14 years. So they're old. He's, some of them one of them specifically had some issues, especially he can't walk right. It's kind of sad, but he's still precious. Good old Leroy. And one of our friends who actually has the offspring of one of these dogs, because that's what my friend was doing. He was breeding golden retrievers and, selling them to people or just giving them away. I almost took one time. I was like, God damn, this motherfucker is cute. So our friends took one. And so they wanted to go see the dogs. And this is after we've been drinking and fucking smoking cigars and shit like that. So we go back up to the suite, me and my friend Kyle, because he had to go get something. And then he was telling me about, the drama that was happening. And he was trying to keep it from the bride, of course. So I'm like, oh, shit. And then, my friends were hitting me up. Okay, we see the dogs. I'm like, all right, they want to come see the dogs. And my friend's like, all right, you stay here. I'm going to go back down, blah, blah, blah. So they get there, knock on the door, open the door. 2 of the dogs dart out. And then I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And one darts down the hallway. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I go chasing after him. It's just like an initial reaction. By the way, I'm pretty fucking, tipsy. And then we come back. And my friend, who's really drunk, this was like, my friend, they're a married couple. My friends, they're a married couple. He's really drunk. He's like leaned up against the door and starts just like, sliding down it. And I'm like, dude, you close the door. I don't have a fucking key. And I'm like, oh, shit. So we're like holding onto the doors, or dogs, I should say. And as that's happening, all of a sudden the door across the hall opens up. The dude who said, I want to learn about your life, comes walking out in his underwear. That's right. In his fucking chones, man. And the best man is in there. Okay, this sounds bad, I know. But don't worry. So is this guy's girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure. She was gorgeous, by the way. Holy shit. Anyways. Apparently he was talking. And the best man was still in his suit and everything. Don't worry. It was like, I don't know exactly what was going on, but I think it was partly had to do with what happened downstairs. The dude was drunk. And it was just a lot of weird shit, like, what the fuck is going on? Then, like, a couple down the hall, like, the guy was yelling at his girlfriend, and we almost got involved with that. And then finally, security let us back into the room to get the dogs back in there. And then I had to get my friend, who's extremely drunk, into bed, like, as his wife was going to go back and, like, make sure everything else was okay. He was beyond fucked up. This was the same friend that got fucked up when I went to that Knot Fest. I mean, when he gets over that hump, it's like trying to deal with a fucking 6-year-old. It really is. Yeah, he literally wanted to wrestle. Playfully. Yeah, I don't know. And it took about 20 minutes just to fucking get, hey. And finally we finished off. Went back to the reception. And it was like winding down and had a couple more drinks. And then I finally fucking went to bed. So yeah, it was a good time. And then we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Met up with my dad. Because he lives... Here now lives, but works close to that area. So, yeah, we met up, watched some football, and ate a bunch of fucking boneless wings. It was delicious. So, yeah, I ate a lot of shit. So now I'm like, all right, now I'm just kind of like back on the intermittent fasting and then just, strictly trying to be like protein and veggies, man. That's what you got to do, guys. This is like I said, you don't have to, I mean, when you if you diet on stuff, it's not even, I mean, I know the word diet sounds bad, but everything's a diet, no matter what. You could have a bad diet or a good diet or a fucking, vegan diet, protein diet. You do that, so then you can have these weekends where you just go, fuck all. I'm eating whatever the fuck. Because, it's like, I get home on Sunday, I'm like, you take off the shirt, it still looks good. Still looks good. Still, no gut. It's fine. And then you just get back on it, and you're good. Like, I made a good dish. This whole week, I bought, like, a pound and a half of ground beef, man, and I fucking spice it up with stuff, throw a little bits of bacon in there, a little shredded cheese on top, and then have it with some fucking spinach. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Just because it's that, it doesn't mean it has to taste bad. So anyways, that was my weekend, guys. Man, I'm really going off on like life stuff here. But, and then, yeah, everything else. Everybody's insane, of course. I don't want to really talk about politics. That's fucking stupid. Everything's done with that. I don't know. Yeah, I know the debates happened last night. I'm all about Tulsi Goddard, Goddard. But, they don't want her to be a candidate at all. I know that she kept getting cut off. CNN said she's a Russian asset because that's what they always like to say. It's really sad because she says what they don't want her to say. She's like, let's not talk about the whole impeachment bullshit, abortion. That whole thing is like, it's like one of the most, and it is. I hate that they always use abortion as such a political fucking weapon. It's ridiculous. It's always that. I mean, I think Kamala Harris said something about like, oh yeah, women will die. Women will die if they're not able to. It's like, what the fuck? No, it's one. And I've gotten in arguments with people too when it's talking about women's rights, and I think that's what it always leads to, women's rights and everything. It's always about abortion. And I'm like, okay, nobody should ever want to have an abortion. The fact that people on the left consider abortion like a form of birth control is pretty fucking disgusting because I know women, friends that have had abortions, okay? Said it's the most difficult decision they've ever had to make in their lives, okay? The most grueling thing they've ever had to do. And I always say, nobody should ever try or even use that as a resort, okay? Now, of course, I'm pro-choice to a point. I've always said that. I think after a certain time, just have the thing and get adoption and everything like that. But it's just they just use it as a weapon. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's gross. And Tulsi, she had a very good response to that, but they always want to fucking shut her up. And not to mention, she's fucking hot. She's young and hot. You don't want that. Enough of that. Suicide Squad. Well, okay, let me talk about Gemini Man for a minute. I know I didn't do a review on that, guys. A full-on review. I didn't have time with everything that was happening this week. And I probably could have had time, but on Friday, I woke up and I wanted to watch the Breaking Bad movie, El Camino, which I enjoyed. And I gave a little quick review. And then it was just like, okay, I got to start, getting ready. I just didn't have time. It's not going to be on the wall of favorite movies of 2019, sadly. It's just because, the script was just, I don't know, it needed a punch up badly. Like, everything was there when it came to, like, plot points. I was like, that's cool, but it just didn't hit like it should. The action was good, and the fucking technology was good. It got a little wonky at the end, for sure, but there's a lot of good things about it. Like, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but there was just, the script was just weak, man. Weak. So, sadly, and it, of course, flopped. It's like Will Smith just doesn't have that fucking drive like he once did. Suicide Squad. Okay, I didn't do a video on this. I've just been kind of wary on set photos, because I got a strike, guys. When I did Birds of Prey set stuff, I got a strike. That's why I always risk, you always risk that when it comes to set photos. And that's why I kind of was like, okay, I'll talk about it on the podcast. Because, well, first off, the first bit of Suicide Squad set photos showed up on Friday. And I was already in Palm Springs, so I thought about doing like a short video, but I was too fucking drunk. I would have been like slurring. Suicide Squad, you see me fucking... No, it wasn't that bad. But, yeah, I saw them. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, look at how fucking horrible these costumes were. I mean, they had Mongol, they had Savant, I guess that's who Pete Davidson's playing. Javelin, right? No. Was that, fuck, I don't know. I forgot what some of these guys' names were. Shit. I mean, some of the costumes, I mean, they of course had Captain Boomerang. Some of these costumes, they look very like cosplay-y. And you're like, what the fuck? And I'm just kind of going, okay. Well, first off, everybody's complaining. The main people that were complaining are the people that are not on board with this movie in the first place. The people that hate James Gunn. And I'm like, wow, shocker. They're shitting all over this? Cool. Even though if they were on board, they would totally be talking different. I mean, this is what I hate about fandom, the hypocrisy. Because if it was like Zack Snyder fucking, or anybody like Nolan, if it was anybody that they actually liked that had the same concept, it's just set photos. We don't know the context of what's going on here. They would totally say that. I need more context. I need to see legit images of these costumes and this, that, and this. I mean, to me, it sounds like a lot of these guys are just going to be offed, and maybe like one or two. Hopefully Boomerang survives. Boomerang looked fine. He just looked a little more comic booky. And I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. A little more comic booky, fine. So I'm just like, okay, let's see context first. Please. Can we do that? But of course, that's not the way fandom works. They want to shit all over it because they hate James Gunn. Yeah, but like I said, a different director, they wouldn't be shitting on it at all. Because even the fucking Birds of Prey costumes don't look, they didn't look, when we first saw them, I was like, okay, what the fuck? But then we saw them in a more cinematic context, bam, look better. That's the way it is. And then new set photos actually showed up today as well. That showed other people. Showed Amanda Waller, which is great. What's her name? Totally eluding me right now. I know you guys are screaming at me. Damn, totally just forgetting her name. But I saw Idris Elba. And the girl who's playing the... God, man, I am the rat catcher. And then John Cena. But they're all in like prison yellow. So this is like a totally different spot. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Vigilante. I can't even talk right now. You guys know what I'm saying, right? I can't even say the word. Man, I'm like drawing blanks right now. Fuck. I hate when that happens. Jeez. Have another drink, Dave. So it's going to be interesting to see when we start seeing actual shit. It's not going to be probably till next year, but it's going to be interesting. And, some of those costumes were very old school, legit from the source material. Come on. Mongol? I mean, my God. It was like she was ripped straight out of the comic books. That's what I love about fandom too. Oh my God, look how awful that looks. I'm like, that's the way she looks right here in the comic book. You guys are always complaining about source material. Both sides. MCU fanboys start complaining about fucking source material like DC stuff. And the same thing with DC fans saying that Marvel doesn't follow that shit. And then you have everybody praising the shit out of Joker. I'm like, that's like the least fucking source material ever. Make up your fucking minds, people. It's not going to be 100%. It needs to change. It can't be exact. Little things, yes. Fucking even Snyder was going to fucking change who the dead Robin was. He wanted it to be Dick Grayson at first. There's some people out there that probably fucking hate to hear that, but man. But I mean, that was true. It was true, so. It's all been crazy, but I don't know. I just need to see it in an actual context. And, hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's part of the Suicide Squad. Some of them will die. Cool. A lot of them will, maybe. I forgot who Nick Fillion was playing. Shit. See, like I said, I should have write shit down. That's what you gotta do, folks. Write shit down. But, yeah. So, just wait for the content. Let's see what it's like. And I know most of you are okay with it, but I know there's like a lot of people that hate everything about everything that's been new about the DCEU. I get it. I'm one of those people that go, I get it, I just don't agree with it. And then when you make like, these little claims about stuff, I'm like, what are you talking about? Stop it. Just stop. Like, when the casting stuff with like Catwoman and everything, and I had somebody going like, they had to throw in the whole Marvel thing. Yeah, you notice that nobody talks about Marvel now. It's like, yeah, because we took the first like half a year talking about everything. They had $3 billion movies, and now it's all these shows and all the Spider-Man drama. Yeah, we're not talking about them now because it's not current. Okay, current right now, it's Joker and DC. Yes, that's what's happening. We have Suicide Squad set photos, we have Batman casting, and we have a Joker movie that is kicking ass at the box office. Can we just fucking lift that up and be happy about that without having to talk about fucking Marvel? You're more obsessed with it than I am. And I'm just telling you to shut the fuck up. It's like you can't fucking enjoy the praise that DC is getting without having to mention Marvel. That's what I get so fucking tired of. There was a point where I was like that, and I just kind of like flipped it. I think it was like it took Justice League to really just be like, okay, I'm gonna start changing my tone here. I'll throw the shade where it needs to be thrown, sure, but there are some people that just cannot fucking stop talking about it. And then of course, it was just announced too. Speaking of current stuff that was talked about everywhere, it was trending and everything. You got Jeremy Renner. And there was people, and this is what I love about fandom too, and I'm like, DC fans, I get it. You have PTSD with all the fucking shit you had to endure, with stuff, with Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, I get it. But I was seeing people going like, nobody's talking about the Jeremy Renner accusation about his wife, saying that she fucking pulled a gun out and shit like that. And I'm like, it's fucking trending on Twitter. It's on TMZ. It's on various websites. It's on the headline of Twitter Moments. Why do you just choose to ignore it? Why? Because it feeds in your narrative that DC is always the victim. Always the victim. But at the same time, I'm like, good. It shouldn't be talked about that much. You know why? Because there needs to be an investigation. That's another thing. Just because you're on the opposite fandom doesn't mean you just automatically accuse Jeremy Renner for doing what he did. Just because you heard it on TMZ. Apparently, this is not the first time his wife has made crazy allegations. Okay, there needs to be a thorough investigation. You can't just, if it was reversed, if it was somebody on the DC side, I'm sure these people would fucking sing a different tune. God, I hate fandom sometimes. Tribalism. Oh, man, I'm amped up in this fucking podcast. Whew, take a breath, Dave. But it's just, I get so fucking tired of hearing that. Just because you're on the opposite of fandom, you're just going to be like, fuck Jeremy Renner. Yeah, look at it. He's a piece of shit. It's like, okay, you weren't there. How do you know it's true? You don't. You just don't like the MCU. That's the only reason why you don't. You're agreeing with this. And you can't do that. I'm sorry. Okay? This is beyond the stupid fanboy bullshit. This is a man being accused of something that needs to have a thorough investigation. Probable cause? You can't just, there's that, and then there's, of course, what's the other thing? I don't know. I can't remember. It can't be like that. You got to put the fucking fanboy bullshit aside, man. And then, what else? Oh, yeah, Kevin Feige. He's now going to be, creative control of all the books now, too, of pretty much everything. A lot of people are like, oh, my God. I'm like, well, it makes sense because, well, the books aren't selling. We've kept hearing about that at the beginning of the year, last year, everything. That the Marvel comic books were they just weren't selling well. And what's selling well? The movies. So naturally, they're just going to be like, who's the head cheese? Kevin Feige. Okay. So let's have him in charge of everything. And it's just like, fine, whatever. But I also see DC fans, oh yeah, they when they always complain about source material, now they're just going to have Kevin Feige change the source material. I'm like, again, we just had a Joker movie that had nothing to do with the source material, for fuck's sake. It's like, good God. Stop it, please. The source material can change. It's fine. It's fine. It can. Every artist has their different take. By the way, I'm also going to have I have a Joker theory video that I'll be doing this weekend. That just kind of blew my mind when I realized, I saw people talking, different theories, and then there was one, and I was like, and then I just kind of really went for it, and I was like, damn, it lines up right here, oh my God. So look forward to that. Let's get to the questions now. I think I've yelled into this microphone already enough. So we'll see what happens. Okay, yeah, if you want to ask me a question, the best way to do it is to, hit me up on Twitter, #FilmJunketPodcast. What are you laughing at? Oh, yeah. Yeah, stop getting fooled by these fucking photoshopped Henry Cavill with a mustache face. Everybody, and this is another thing too, it's like just fandom gone awry. You want to always be complaining and bitching about stuff, and people are getting fooled by these obvious photoshops. This guy was who has Snyder Cut in his fucking name, was going oh my God, this asshole, and fuck Joss Whedon kind of thing. I can't believe it. I'm like, it's fake. It's not real. I did a video about it. There's no dots on his face. This one has, it's when Superman and Flash are like going and like Superman's flying. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me here, guys. It looks fake as shit, and there's no dots on his face. They use mocap dots, of course, and they apparently wax his mustache up. Not to mention, why would all the other CGI be there but not his face? Use some logic, please. Please. That's all I beg for people. Just use some logic. It's not hard. Just think about it. But some people just always want to complain, and that's the way it is. Makes them feel relevant. That's what happens, sadly. You know, I've been accused for like saying stuff that, that he's just doing that to stay relevant. I'm like, no, I'm just using my fucking brain. Jesus Christ. Anyways, here we go. Maurice, he asked, do you think DC should focus less on shared universe and focus on films like Joker to further distinguish itself from rival studios? Yeah, that's what they're doing. You know, Shazam. Yeah, I mean, Shazam and Aquaman had some connective tissue, but not a lot. You know, they were very much their own movies. And then, of course, Joker was like a big one-off. So we'll see what happens in the future. And like Birds of Prey is going to have some connections to Suicide Squad, but I'm guessing that's about it. George 15186038. Dave, mate, how are ya? I'm okay, George. Any news on Superman Man of Steel 2? Also, if there's a reboot, who would you like as... I'm not going to do that. You know, Cavill wants to come back. He's very much a game. The only news I've heard is like, you know, the JJ stuff. That's it. And then, you know, I mean, there is going to be another movie. You know, just don't expect it to be like... I don't know. I wouldn't expect it to be like a full-on direct sequel to Man of Steel. I don't know. It's probably going to be a little lighter. It's probably going to be lighter in tone, for sure. Miguel M. Yes. Hey, Dave, when are you going to do that Snyder Cut video? The one where you cover the start of the movement until how it is now. No, I'm not going to. Well, no, if I'm going to do anything that has to involve with that, with like the start of this whole thing, I'm going to need some help. And I've already been talking about it with other people, so it's not going to just be me when that happens. Brad Curran. Brad is all in. Back in 2015, I got to see Linda Hamilton at Tampa Comic-Con. You couldn't have come away from the panel expecting she'd be back. No pun intended, huh? But now that she is, what excites me a lot for Terminator Dark Fate, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, when I found out she was coming back, I was like, yep, there you go. That's the way to bring people back. And she looks like she's badass. Eric, Mr. Eric M. Blake. Hey, Dave. So with all the cryptic teasing from media blogger types about what they just might have heard about the Snyder Cut from Zach during their Army of the Dead visit. 1, what do you make of it? 2, what does your guy make of it? Nothing and nothing! Oh, that's pretty much what I got to say about it. I mean, you got to realize, guys, what did I say? I'm taking a step back from all the bullshit. And, you know, that little pocket of the fandom, they still try to stir shit. They still try to... I still see a couple of them, like, show up in my mentions, and they try to fucking stir up shit. Because it's... I mean, like I said, they're accusing us of being, like, if we don't stop talking about it, they become irrelevant. But we haven't been. How many Snyder Cut videos have I fucking done in the past month and a half, 2 months? 2, 3, anytime that Snyder posts something, or if like there's a fake Superman mustache photo out there, then I'll talk about it. But other than that, I'm trying to cover Batman stuff and newer stuff, and those videos get more views than when I do a Snyder Cut video now. And I'm like, cool, yeah, that's what I want. I don't want to be stranglehold and just talk about Snyder Cut stuff. I will. I'm not walking away. I just took a step back and stopped interacting with some of these fucking dickheads out there that are just straight out saying lies about shit. So what do I make of it? I mean, I can't say much. There's an embargo, of course. Have I talked to people? Yes. Have they told me things? Yes. Have I heard anything from my guy? No. Maybe. But, I'm just going to leave it at what I always tell you guys. don't overhype yourselves where you're going to get disappointed. I've said that many times. And then, of course, I get accused from killing hype. But then what happens? It ends up, the hype is not fully there. And then all of a sudden I get more shit thrown at me. It's like, okay, can't win. Lose. That's what happens when it comes to fandom sometimes. You know, I've heard things and I'm just like, you know, be wary of who you're fucking watching here too. I don't know if I trust everybody. So that's really all I got to say about it. Low-key Schmoke, he says, I remember back before on a podcast that you mentioned something that you heard about Affleck in regards to Batman, that you wanted to do some digging and verify first. Just curious if there was a follow-up. Yeah, I heard he was still attached as producer, but he's not anymore. Yeah, I was being told that he was still attached as producer, and then all of a sudden something got updated, especially with all the new stuff, and now he's no longer. So that's what it was. At Snyder Watch, I can't say the first part. Hey, hi Dave, hope you're doing good. Thank you. Have you ever considered doing a live stream of you watching a movie so that anyone could watch along? Say Man of Steel, Batman, Superman. I know, very original. But yeah, I have considered it. Me and Justin, Mr. Mud, what is it? Midside. I almost said Mudside slide. Midside. You know, Justin, who I did the Snyder Cut video with. We talked about doing something like that. So be on the lookout. Brian Crowley. Sorry, I just want to say Mr. Crowley. Regarding Joker, what if I told you I think the beginning of the movie is actually the end of the story, and the beginning of the story is actually the end of the movie? What? I need to explain it. That doesn't make sense. That wouldn't really make sense with Mom and... No, that doesn't make... Because beginning of the movie, he's working as a clown with these dudes, and then towards the end, we know what happens with at least one of those coworkers. So that... I like where your heart's at, and like I said, I have a whole other theory that might blow your fucking noggin about Joker, that it was just like, oh, whoa, well, look at that. Frank and the Fandom. Yeah, Scorsese's Marvel CBM film bashing. Your thoughts go. And that's another separate video I'll be doing. I know it's stirred up a lot of emotions, but I'll be doing a whole video about it because it's not just Scorsese now. And then you got Jennifer Aniston saying stuff, and then you got people responding also. So I kind of just want to put it all in one video and kind of talk about it. So look forward to that. Matt McGo, yes. Are you a fan of the Middle-earth films, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit? Not really. Seen them, but I'm not saying they're bad. I don't even think I've seen all of them all the way through. I don't know. The Middle-earth stuff doesn't fascinate me as much. When it comes to my nerd stuff, I'm all about the cape shit and just sci-fi, you know. But when it comes to fantasy stuff, it never has pulled me in as much. And I'm not saying they're like bad. It just never was like my cup of tea. Like the Harry Potter and the wizardy shit. It doesn't pull me in as much. So, yeah. So I mean, they're good, but I'm just not a big fan. Star Wars fan Khalil, I always say your name wrong. You were right about why not just cast Zoe Kravitz. Also, can I ask what intermittent fasting is like and what does it do? Also, should we be worried about Batman going against Iron Child Jr. 3? Jesus Christ, you guys. Spider-Man. It should be fine. Intermittent fasting is basically just keep your eating window down to like, I don't know, try to keep it down to 12 hours, which means you're going to go 12 hours without eating. You can drink water and black coffee. Basically what I do is, I'll stop eating, I don't know. But then, of course, I'll have a drink right now. But this will be my last drink. And then I won't eat till about 11:30 tomorrow. Like, it's 9:30 now. I won't eat till about 11:30 tomorrow. That gives me about 14 hours. But I'll drink water and I'll drink black coffee. Because apparently black coffee doesn't break a fast. Because it's very low, it's a very low caloric intake. As long as you're not putting any of that bullshit sugar, no, none of that. So your body just basically sends it to your bladder and you pee it out. It has really good benefits, a lot of good benefits. I'm actually kind of talking to someone right now, guys. She's diabetic. She does it too, and it actually prevents her from taking more insulin shots throughout the day. It helps her diabetes. It has enormous... See, the fact of the matter, guys, we eat too fucking much. We eat too goddamn much. Okay? That's why we're so fat. So yeah, just don't... when you're sleeping, you're fasting. Okay? And then when you get up, just don't eat breakfast. Just don't eat breakfast. Nothing that'll do that. So you take in a lower amount of calories. But of course, a lot of people always worry about the calories. But, And so your body is just in fat burning mode when you're fasting. I've even done workouts on fasting. And what's crazy? I feel more energy than I do when I have had a meal or two. It's weird. Your body is a crazy thing. Back in the olden days, they weren't eating all the time. We're just having abundance of food. So it's like limiting yourself. Not to mention your food budget goes down. Shit. I go to the grocery store once a week, man. It's like $30. And that lasts me throughout the week. It used to be more because I just had to buy like the bigger carton of eggs and more stuff and, just everything. No, not anymore. Cut it down. And then finally, Gabriel Mall. He asks, if you were James Gunn, what reason would you have for not including a badass character like Deathstroke in your Suicide Squad movie? I thought Gunn and Magniello are close friends. You really think Joe didn't mention it to Gunn once? Titans? I would say that would be more of a DC. That was more of a, when they're figuring out what character goes where. Titans Season 2 is all about Deathstroke. And even the Arrow universe is still using him. So I could see that being a reason. And, he should be in the Titans show more than Suicide Squad. Yeah, I know he can make an appearance there and he's been there, but he is a big-time Titans villain. There's so much else you could do with Suicide Squad. So, I don't think Gunn really thought, okay, you guys are going to be using him there, then I'm going to use other characters, which I'm okay with. I still want that Deathstroke movie, and that'd be cool if they do a DC Black Label, dark, whatever the hell, movie that's strictly Deathstroke with Magniello, but who knows what's going to happen with that. That might be totally off the board, So, I understand it. So, that's just me, though. So, all right, guys, that's the podcast. Kept it under just an hour. Appreciate you guys clicking in, listening to me ramble on and everything. And, you guys know the drill. Follow me on all the sock meds, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon if you want to help out the pirate ship. Shirts down below and all that stuff. And, yeah, you know what, guys? Speaking of Snyder Cut, there is a SnyderCut.com. This is a site that's kind of showed up. That's got some cool shit on it. You can insert your email that, kind of breaks it down like, hey, look at how many people are submitting their email addresses to this that want to see the Snyder Cut. Just something to further along that dialogue to show some analytics. I know some people don't like that, but whatever. It's always good to show analytics to Warner Brothers. So, yeah, go check it out. I'll probably provide it down below, like a link or something. I don't know. Anyways, all right. Love you. Talk to you later.